This is the story of a Mary, a circus elephant that was hanged to a death publicly in front of 3,000 people. Circus people have been abusing poor animals in the name of entertainment. So this is the story of elephant Mary, who was tortured to a point where she snapped. Mary was born in 1894. 4 years later in 1898, she was purchased by the rich Sparks family, which owned a popular circus called Sparks World Famous Show. The circus was extremely popular in America. It was so popular that tickets were being sold out in few minutes. She was the beloved attraction of the show. She could play musical instrument, even she could stand up baseball on her head. But the life of a circus animals was not easy. They were physically tortured and abused to perform her tricks. So the caretaker of Elephant was very good working guy. The chemistry between the caretaker and Elephant Mary was pretty good. In that city, everybody used to come just to watch Elephant Mary. Everything was going well. Elephant Mary loved eating banana and watermelon. Circus adopted Mary when she was just a 4-year-old. You know, until now, Mary didn't hurt or give any trouble. But until now. But next, everything was gonna change. Then circus hired a new man known as a Red Elbridge to take charge of Mary, which he had no proper experience of handling an elephant. Circus employees said to this guy, handle the Elephant Mary with a gentle care, but he went against their order and he began smacking Mary with the bull hook. Mary caretaker was physically assaulting her. Just imagine a bull hook, which are like iron rod. Red Elbridge was smacking Mary with a bull hook again and again, which is stick, which hook at the end that can easily tear an elephant's skin. Elephant and circus employee were walking on a street. One day, Elbridge was sitting top of her and guiding to a watering hole. Madly, Mary suddenly stopped there. There was a half-eaten watermelon. And Mary was hungry. They didn't give anything to eat her. She was so hungry. She started eating watermelon that was on the road. So the caretaker Elbridge started hitting Mary with the iron hook. That's where everything begins. Mary had infected tooth and it was very bad. And she was in very bad pain. But the caretaker Elbridge wasn't aware of this thing. Elbridge started beating Mary with the hook few times. But at moment it hit infected tooth, Mary got angry. She lifted Elbridge and thrown him in the air and smashed him into a ground within so much force that he was killed instantly. As I said earlier, there were thousands of crowd watching Mary. But she didn't attack anyone. But Mary knew what's gonna happen. After the incident, Mary knew that it was over. News spreaded like a virus on residents. People were extremely furious. At that moment they tried to kill Mary with a gun, but it was failed due to their thick body. Elephants have a thick body, extremely thick body. Crowd were scared, crowd were terrified. They don't know what to do, but people don't know behind the scene. Caretaker was abusing Mary for a long period of time, but the crowd were chanting, kill the elephant, kill the elephant. So later Mary was chained outside the country jail. People closed the circus and said, we won't watch circus until Mary is alive. Now it's caused lot of drama. Elephant Sparks circus owner have to make a tough decision as quickly as possible. Kill Mary or close the company. After a few time, they choose the decision to kill Mary, to execute Mary. As I said earlier, they choose business as their priority and announce the public execution of Elephant Mary. That was the only way to satisfy the crowd ego. Killing an innocent elephant. Because of that, crowd were happy seeing an innocent elephant being killed. Now the question arrives, how to execute such a long 5-ton animal? It was just impossible, since bullets were proven failed due to the elephant's thick body. Now some people were suggesting a dangerous idea to kill Mary. Crushing Mary between her 2 trains. Others were telling, tying her front and rear legs to 2 trains and running in opposite direction and killing her alive into 2 pieces. But the Sparks owner decided to hang her because that was the most probably human way. There was a show in a circus on the morning. That was the next day after Mary killed caretaker. Mary was not a part of the show, but she was very nervous because she knew she was in trouble after killing a caretaker. It happened because of the anger and caretaker's bad habits. It was decided to hang her in a rail yard of town of Urban, Tennessee. Since the town had lot and thousands of tons of cranes that could easily lift Elephant Mary. So next day will be Mary's last day. She was taken to the spot for a hanging. And the entire circus marched with her to pay our respect to her. And the elephants were also accompanying Mary on her walk. Few employees of the circus show who had done lot of show with the Mary. Everyone loved Mary. She couldn't see beloved Mary seeing her hang. Few employees disappeared from the place because it was impossible to watch Mary getting hanged to her death. Later she was brought to a railroad. A heavy chain metal was tied around her neck. She was lifted by the crane. That was made to lift her cars. When they started lifting Mary, huge sounds were coming out of Mary's body. Ligaments were being torn from the bones. As soon as she was lifted first, the chain was too weak for her body. The chain snapped very badly. She was felled into the ground and it was bleeding very badly. Her bones were broken. Her ligaments were torn into pieces. After some time, she was lifted 5 feet above the ground. Again she fell down. At this moment, Mary's hips were broken. She was screaming in the pain. But the people and the crowd were enjoying. She was unable to get up. She was in extremely horrible situation. So she sat on the rum for almost an hour because it was impossible in terrible state. After some time, they brought a stronger chain around her neck. She sat in the pen, lifted her again. After 30 minutes in the air, she was declared dead by the doctors. I think people should understand this one thing. Animals belong to forest. Their house is forest, not a circus. I said it earlier, new caretaker was a strict person. Unnecessarily, caretaker used to hit and abuse Mary several times. Circus owner didn't care about it because they just wanted money. It take time to adjust her. But the circus owner were pretty greedy. They just wanted to earn money as soon as possible. Mary was not happy with caretaker.